We got a gazillion news coming in the Wrath of the Lich King Classic section of the world. We're gonna check out many community announcements by Blizzard. First of all, the most important, the one that got everybody outraged, they nerfed the leveling for no reason. But that's not it. There's also a new LFD system, and there is also a boosting nerf. But we're gonna go straight to the XP nerf, that's why people showed up. Blizzard announces Joyous Journeys in TBC Classic, upcoming 50% EXP buff before Wrath Classic. The announcement goes as follows: as we continue work on Wrath of the Lich King Classic, we want to celebrate the defeat of Kill Jaden and the Burning Legion again, with a bit of a special event to help get players ready for the adventures in Northrend. After the coming weeks, we will implement a global buff that we're calling Joyous Journeys. During the time this buff is active, all sources of experience will award 50% additional XP. We haven't locked down the specific time frame for when this buff will activate, but we expect it to last for at least 6 to 8 weeks, beginning a few weeks before the 3.4.0 pre-patch and persisting right up until the day the Wrath of the Lich King Classic launches. This buff should provide a great opportunity for everyone who may have fallen behind on the leveling curve, or anybody with alts that wanna prepare for the next adventure to jump in and get caught up to level 70 ahead of the release of Wrath of the Lich King Classic. This will also be active on Wrath of the Lich King Classic Fresh Start Realms as well, so it should be a great jump start for any players who want to try to level up quickly during pre-patch and participate in the various Wrath pre-patch events, such as the Zombie Plague or special time-limited bosses such as Balsafon in Stratholm or Tenris Murkblood in Karazhan. While we aren't quite ready to announce specific dates around Wrath Classic, we feel it might be helpful to let you know ahead of time that this buff event is coming. We will have more to share around Wrath of the Lich King Classic launch in the coming weeks. Thank you. Oh, they are so polite, aren't they, guys? Okay, let's break this down. Everybody's gonna have 50% additional XP, so leveling will take 75%. Am I getting this right? 75% of the time it usually takes. This is a 25% nerf to XP. Not a 50%, I guess. People were calling it a 50% nerf. Either way, this is pretty significant, and people are questioning this rescission, rightfully so. The race to server first is like a very important aspect of a fresh server, and this kind of beats the purpose in a way. But at the same time, you gotta think, what if they put this event on every server except the fresh server? That's gonna suck for the fresh server people. So, I don't know. I am not quite conflicted about this. I think it's okay. I don't really care, it's leveling in Wrath of the Lich King, man, nobody cares. If it was vanilla, people would be furious, obviously. Either way, you know, maybe if you wanna get your friends to play or something like that, it's like a catch-up patch. It is what it is, said a very wise bald man. Okay, now we're covering the other news. Blizzard is reducing the efficiency of boosting groups in TBC and Wrath Classic dungeons. Soon, TM. Blizzard has announced that they are reducing the efficiency of boosting groups in Burning Crusade Classic dungeons and similar changes to Wrath Classic dungeons in the future with some upcoming changes. Blizzard, one of the most common pieces of feedback we have received and observed ourselves in our adventures is the concern about pervasive sales of dungeon boosting services in-game. It often overpowers chat with advertisements and makes certain challenges hard to use for their intended purpose. It is also not secret that the gold from many boosting groups is used for illicit activities such as real money trading, as much as all the gold that players pay to boosters is then sold for real money back to players. Yeah, now that we have seen the final major content release of Burning Crusade Classic, we will soon adjust the behavior of creatures in most dungeons, including the new dungeons coming in Wrath of the Lich King Classic, to make it significantly more difficult to endlessly snare and kite enemies. About them time. Additionally, we will implement a reduction to group XP earned when there is a large disparity between player levels in the same group. The problem with this is that the real boosters, I mean, the XP nerf is probably gonna ruin boosting, but the real AOE farming in dungeon of Wrath and TBC is not a kiter. They do not need to kite, it is the prot paladin. And this is not nerfing them at all. We have experimented with similar changes to most dungeons in our season of Mastery servers, and we have found these changes to be very effective at reducing the efficiency of boosting groups. We plan to roll out these adjustments to Burning Crusade Classic realms at the same time as the Joyous Journeys XP buff 2, which should happen sometime in the next few weeks. Stay tuned for more information about that and when you can expect to see these changes hit live servers. This is also a good opportunity to remind everyone that chat spamming for boosting is against the terms of service, and you should take every opportunity to report players you see advertising for boosting channels in servers. You know, they never enforce this, so will they really ban them or sanction them at all if they spam boosting? No, they won't. We are really looking forward for players joining us very soon for Wrath of the Lich King Classic Beta, and hope to be able to share more about that very soon as well. Oh, the beta, Metagoblin is not too happy. Okay, and here's the last video news we got today. There is a new group finder system for Red Classic. That's right, you know how they stubbornly against everybody, you know, against the teachings of our Lord, and this Bible is backwards, there we go. They keep refusing to put LFD in the game. Why? Who the hell knows? Either way, they had decided to do a quote-unquote compromise, putting a group finder in the game, like a new system. And here's the announcement by Blizzard. As we all know, there is an infinite amount of ground to cover in this topic. I am not sure how much I can say that hasn't been said before, but I can assure you that it is our team is extremely committed to finding good solutions to player concerns that do not compromise on the things that make Classic loved in the first place. I am a jerk for saying I do not think ranked. I do not think Rat is Classic. I don't think there's the same appeal to it. I'm not saying it is necessarily bad, I'm saying like the things that make Classic WoW appealing are not the same that make Rat appealing. Rat is appealing for different reasons, right? That's what I'm trying to say. And speaking of solutions, I've come bearing some good news. We are actively developing a brand new Finder UI for Wrath of the Lich King Classic. Here is a small sneak preview of some of the features we are aiming to deliver. New look, modern code. We have rebuilt the UI to be easier to read and more inviting than it was in Burning Crusade Classic. I thought the Dungeon Finder in Burning Crusade was great. Like, I know it was universally flamed by the community. I always thought it was good. It is like a very convenient in a second finding people. It doesn't really compromise the social fabric because you still gotta talk to people to get anything done. I don't know, I always thought it was a good service. Behind the scenes, we are using our modern group finder code, ensuring stability and performance. Nobody cares. Roles. We have introduced roles into the UI in Red Classic. That's great. Partial groups can broadcast which slots they have opened, and individuals can specify whether they are willing to tank, heal, deal damage, or do multiple of the above. Roles are intended to expedite communication, not stifle gameplay creativity. That's great. So for the moment, we are keeping all roles open to all classes. Oh my lord. Solo listing and multiple activities. We envision this group finder as a bulletin board where players can list activities they want to do and discover others who want to do the same. To that end, we are supporting listings from both solo individuals and partially filled groups. And if you cannot decide which dungeon you want to run, that is okay. You can list yourself for more than one. That's the same as in TVC actually, you can do the same. Request, invite, and suggest invite. To smooth out group formation, we are adding request invite and suggest invite features. That's great. Like, usually you would have to like whisper the guy on the group finder and like, I don't know, if you can just request it, you still gotta talk to them, I assume, but like, I don't know, it like makes it sound a little more efficient. I think that's cool. The single source for your group finding needs. We are aiming for this group UI to be a one-stop shop for all your group finding needs. That sucks. It shouldn't be the one-stop shop. It should be like a complementary tool to make it a little easier. That's it. To that end, we are reviving an old rule from the original Burning Crusade on Wrath of the Lich King. Sending messages in the looking for group chat channel will require being listed in the UI. You might be thinking nobody likes restrictions, nobody uses the looking for group chat anyway. That's my take on it, nobody's gonna care. In an ideal world, each individual player would build their groups using whatever tools they deem best for the job. However, we have observed that group finding is a social coordination problem and there is value in funneling everyone through the same system. There is, but like, no. If we can create a single source though, which group finding is done, all players will reap the benefits. Okay, what is he trying to say with this? I think he made it a word twisting for no reason. What he's saying is that in Classic, TVC for example, you got the group finder and you got chat and you got /who, because most people are actually not actively looking for groups, but if you invite them to a group, they often will say, yeah, I'm gonna join you, I'm cool with that, let's do something. So what they are trying to do is that if you take these three sources of making groups and pull them together, and guilds also, and you pull them all together, the pool of potential talent that you can get to your dungeon essentially multiplies. It will make it so more efficient for the player base as a whole. Like on average, the player base will get groups made faster if they are all trying to find each other in the same place rather than being dispersed in different systems of the game. Will it happen in practice? Will it work? Will it not hurt the game? I don't think so. I don't know, then maybe just me just dooming, you know, I'm a very bad person. We are aiming to give our new group finder an effective, efficient and enjoyable group finding experience, and we want the help of you and other players getting there. We have a fully functional test version of the group finder available on day 1 of the Wrath of the Lich King beta. We look forward to hearing your feedback. As many of you all know, I'm pretty sure the beta just came out. Actually, let me check it out right now. There you go, look at this. Wrath of the Lich King Classic beta just came live 7 hours ago. So yeah, there is a trial version of the Dungeon Finder in the beta. I hope people are gonna be able to give feedback, and I hope they are gonna listen to the feedback, which is a lot more important. And what I predict is gonna happen, the group finder is gonna be full of bots and unusable. I know. I know the future, guys. Trust me. Oh my god, guys. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole news. I am a little hopeful, I am a little doomy like always, but I am always a little doomy, so do not pay too much mind to me. And I don't know, see you later, behave, subscribe and hit the notification bell for we got a lot more coming, and hit the join button to join because you gotta join the homeboys, and that's pretty much it. West Coast.